Welcome to the first episode of BlueTalk. I am so excited to be doing this series and just to be getting to talk about different things that are on my mind. I hope this background music isn't too loud. Let me just turn that down a little. But so this is going to be a new series that I'm doing that covers topics in regards to law enforcement, the lspdfr community, and just happenings in the news in general. One of the things I want to start off with right off the bat, I know that a lot of what's been in a lot of the news today has been the coronavirus and everything with that. Stay safe, please. I know there are a lot of memes circulating, and it's easy to make fun of it, but people are in fact dying. Don't panic. Just be responsible is all I would suggest. Be responsible. With that being said, you can get updates about the coronavirus at, let me pull up the link. I believe it is cdc.gov. But I am not exactly sure about the www.cdc.gov, and this is the most accurate place to get your information in regards to the coronavirus, so please keep up with that if you think you might have COVID-19. Continuing on with today's topics and what's trending in the news. One of the things I'm going to be covering today is the big story in the lspdfr community right now, which is Coma's callout, Chill Callouts, is being accused of having malware in it. A while back, there was a, just switching over music in the background, there was a announcement made on First 30 Minutes Discord, and let me see if I can pull that up real quick so you guys can see that. Nope, that's with Coma, that's later. We did reach out to him for comment, and he did agree to a over text interview. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. This was the original release on the Discord as to what exactly occurred, and the release was made by one of the admins for First 30 Minutes Discord. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he released this image, which I'm going to have to be honest is quite disturbing when you look at it. Let me just pull that up real quick. Here we go. So this is the image that was pulled up, and it says, so this is Coma talking, or at least it's my understanding that this is Coma talking. It was a beta version of Chill Callouts released for members of his Discord, I guess, where he says, you can see in the red underlining, I will ban your HWID, and you are never going to use Chill Callouts again if you in fact violate the terms of use, and even though there are no terms of use, but if you basically share this with a friend. So everyone's original concerns were, how can you ban us via hardware ID, which contains your IP address, if you don't have our IP addresses, which basically indicated to everyone else that Coma did in fact have our IP addresses, and raised some alarms. So So when reached out to contact, Coma did reply and agreed to do this interview with us here at BlueTalk. Um, and this was the first, so this is the beginning of our talks. I'm going to be pulling them up right here. Whoops. Ignore that. That's the music in the background. So, sorry, turn off the advertisements. So this is what the beginning of our conversation right here. And my first question to him was, what exactly was his intentions with creating chill callouts? Because I had seen chill callouts since it first came out, and to be honest, I was kind of curious. Now, I'd have to go back and fact check this, but lspdfr.com has very strict, not safe for work policies, inappropriate content, things of that nature. So when I saw a rape call out and things of that nature, it piqued my interest to begin with. But here you can see my first question was what exactly his intentions were in creating this call out. And he replied that he created it in January, toward the beginning of this year. That it was a test because it was his first time developing a GTA plugin in C Sharp. And after finishing his first call out, he saw that it was pretty easy, in his words, and that's the reason he began publishing this plugin. So it seems as if his intentions were harmless at this stage when he first started with this endeavor into creating chill callouts. And so basically, I didn't waste any time getting into the accusations, into the nitty gritty of things. And so I started asking him what exactly, are these allegations true? And if you look right here, he replied, I asked him, different people in the lspdfr community are saying that your file is a form of malware. What would you say to this accusation? To which Coma replied, it has no malware. I've developed a sync system. I just want to put a disclaimer, and this is no shade to be thrown at Coma. I take it English is not his first language, so I just ask you bear with him. He goes on that he has collected hardware IDs to assign statistics to the right player, but the IDs are only a few seconds in the database. After setting new statistics to a player, the hardware ID is removed automatically. The method was only active for 2 days, mind you, and he's deactivated this function already as of March 6th, 2020 at 6:03 in, I guess, Germany time? I don't know if that's Greenwich Mean Time off the top of my head. So basically, he's saying that this was intended to be harmless, but the thing is, no terms of service was ever given, so we had no way of knowing what was being done with our information. And this is just another reason why, you have to be careful when downloading these types of modifications, because only God knows what's in them if you aren't careful. So, we continued on with our conversation. To which I asked him why the modification was taken down if, because he said at one point that it would be going back up and everything would be fine because he was taking steps to remove this, as we just saw. So, when I asked him why the plugin was taken down, he replied the mod is available again and that he had to redirect the he had an auto redirect in there, excuse me, and that he had to remove the auto redirect, which and also he continues on to say that no, there was no terms of service or anything of the sort, and that he did not do things properly and was not aware to the extent of, I take it out of context of the conversation, legal ramifications because of this. Because if somebody wanted to file a lawsuit, they very well could. Because there was no terms of service and nobody was notified that their information was being stored. People have to agree to such things when this type of thing is going on. Continuing on, when asked if he would consider this a mistake, he said, yes, he would say that it was his mistake and that security is the most important thing to him. And so the security of the users of his plugins are the most important thing to him and his business endeavors with this modification. When asked about Comet, about, if I'm getting my notes correct here, when asked about the rape modifications or, you know, plugins in this here modification and the sensitivity of this being, partially insensitive from towards women and how, maybe he shouldn't have stepped over this line, whether or not he felt that that was the case. He replied saying that it was a user suggestion. The contents of this plugin is there's a call where an old man is trying to rape a woman and the woman tries to flee. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Where was I exactly with this? Okay, so, in his response, he said not really. He did not see the call out as inappropriate. And, I asked him if there was any, detailed forensics or investigation taking place with this call out, because if there were actually, like, kits for it, then, I don't know, I'm just here to spew information. I'll let you decide for yourself what you want to think about this. But in my book, I just kind of think that, having kits and stuff would be a little too far. The whole topic is a little too far, in my opinion, to begin with. But hey, I'm not here to influence you guys' opinions. I'm just here to spit, the facts and report on this. He said that there were going to be more callouts to come that were, more investigation oriented. As for this call out that we're looking at that he's describing, or as for the call out in question, rather, he says there's really not much investigation unless you have lspdfr plus installed already. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything I haven't covered. That's the last thing I have in my notes, I think. Oh, here we go. Here's the end. And to conclude, I just asked him if he had anything else that he wanted to add. And he said that he has 7 new calls that he's working on with lots of different outcomes and lots of investigation. 3 so far are finished. I thanked him for his time, and we concluded the interview there. So, I pretty much, I don't know. It seems to me that, everything was done innocently. There was no malicious intent. Honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world because I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Everybody already has your IP. So, what's the difference? That's how I take it. Um, I personally feel comfortable with? Heck no. It was very alarming when I first saw it, but hopefully this will just be, a one-off thing and that this won't be a continued issue. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and or subscribe. Do what you're gonna do. Thank you guys for watching the first episode of Blue Talk. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you want me to keep doing this, if you want me to keep doing interviews, things of that nature, let me know. Because I'm thinking about continuing this. I don't know. Personally, I like it. But that's just me. So, anyways, I'm gonna quit my yapping. But yeah. So, I will catch you guys the next time I see you. Bye.